Welcome to the MS Norröna and welcome to somewhere in the North Atlantic Ocean. Now, I've already made a video of this whole ferry crossing, but this is just a slightly shorter one to give you a tour of the ship. And I can't do that without showing you the outdoor spaces as well, even in this weather. Let's go. Outdoor space on board is absolutely excellent, and you've got access to 3 or 4 different decks. As you can see here at the moment, we're right on the very top, but you can also see there are some places where you've got some shelter from whatever the weather throws at you. And believe me, out here that can be absolutely anything. You've got some good sturdy fixed seats like these ones, and you've got some deck chairs flying about as well. I must admit, these panels do a pretty good job, but if you're brave enough you can go outside as well. Or should I say, if you're stupid enough. Wow. As I tuck myself away from the wind here, you can see we've got an outdoor football pitch, and I can't understand why nobody's using it either. And at the very top of the ship we've got this beautiful lounge bar with its massive panoramic windows. And don't worry, we'll be in there soon. Oh, and we've also got these big powerful binoculars, free of charge to look at. Well, not very much at all. Oh no. No, no, no! I'll need to change my socks again. Right at the stern here we've got the helipad, which I think is only used for medical emergencies. In fact, let's go and have a closer look. I love how all this is open and you can just wander about. I know a lot of ships you wouldn't get anywhere near the heli deck. If we go down another level, you'll see here we've got the jacuzzis. And no, I don't think anyone's using them at the moment. Hiya. They look quite inviting though, don't they? And hot. I think this one right at the back of the ship, hot tub number 3, that's the one to go for, isn't it? With these you have to book them up at reception. Now, I'm not sure if you get sole use or not, so if it was just me and I just spent about 30 euros, I think I'd want it to myself. But there are also packages available with wine and champagne, maybe not on a day like today. And if we continue on past the hot tubs here at the stern, this is as far as you can go in this deck. There's a little chain across, and that's for crew only. So they've got their own wee space there just round the corner. Look at the power generated by those propellers, eh? And if you can make out some land just off in the distance, that's us just leaving the Faroe Islands. Next stop will be our destination of Iceland, and we should get there at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right, let's continue. This is us back up on the deck we started on. In here, we've got a little outdoor smoker's cabin. There's people using it just now, but I'll have a quick peek in. This is another semi-sheltered spot, and you've got these little heaters. You just press the button and you'll get 10 minutes of that. So that's us seeing 1, 2, 3 decks, and there's one more right at the top. Now that the wind's got up, I'm starting to realise that this is probably the most sheltered deck space on the ship, despite it being right at the top. Just behind me there we've got that lounge bar with the panoramic views that I was talking about. And I tell you what, I'm glad I'm done with the deck space. Let's go inside. Whoa. As you can see on the plan here, there's 10 decks on board, and we're right at the top at the moment at Laterna Magica. And it goes all the way down to deck 1 where we've got the swimming pool and the gym, would you believe? Let's have a look in here. This is such a cool space with really comfy seats, and you wouldn't believe how big these windows are, by the way. And there's some of the beers that are available on tap. As we go back down the stairs, you'll see there's loads of little nooks and crannies where you can, as Nick from Aquaholic would say, tuck yourself away with a good book. Another theme of the ship are these big graphic vinyls everywhere, and these ones are showing you the history of the different ships that have sailed this route, and it's got information in Faroese, English and German. And I know that I'm a bit of a ship geek, but I've gone round and read all of those. Mind your heed. This is a big photo of Muckle Flugga right at the northern tip of Scotland, and we sailed past that yesterday evening. And you've got these big screens everywhere, and at the side they show you the opening times for all the different spaces on the ship. There's quite a few places to hang out, and even if the ship's quite busy as it is just now, there's always a wee quiet corner to hide yourself away. And these seats, they're awfully comfy. These corridors take you through to the cabins. Oh, and you've got the Nordic suites here as well. I'm not quite sure what they are. Unfortunately, I can't show you the different grades of cabin, but I can show you my cabin. That's something, isn't it? Now, this is just a very typical ship corridor, isn't it? But as you can see here, all the cabins are represented by a different bird. I like that. As I walk around the ship, there is a bit of motion, but I'd say the stabilisers are doing a good job in this weather. I really do like all these big graphics, and I tell you what, I bet this makes it a lot nicer than some cruise ships. Isn't that right, pal? So we're on deck 8, it is just cabins. So if we go down to deck 7, we've pretty much seen everything apart from gaming. Let's go and have a look at gaming. Nope, not that way. See, I've been on board for 2 days. I still don't know my way around. I've not actually been along here yet. This is the luggage lockers. So you've got big ones and you've got small ones, and they take 20 kroner coins. Now I'm pretty sure that'll be Danish kroner because that's the currency on board. So if you don't have a cabin and you're looking to store your bags, deck 7's the place to come. And here we are, I've found the gaming room at last. So you can change your coins here. And then you got all these, look at this. It's quite big, isn't it? And you've even got a view at the end. I think it's fair to say I'm happy I'm not a gambling man, because 68 hours on board, I'd be losing all my money, wouldn't I? Alright, so we're back at a staircase. Oh yeah, I remember this one, because look, it's got a beautiful painting of the Faroe Islands. So deck 7, we've seen cabins, open deck, hot tubs, gaming and luggage lockers. Let's go to deck 6. Deck 6 is where you've got the buffet, and it's really, really good quality. I was in there for breakfast yesterday. I don't think it's open just now, but can we sneak in? Nah, I don't want to go in if it's not open, but the breakfast cost about 20 euros, and I tell you what, it was worth it. Oh, and on the other side we've got the fancy restaurant now. I'm not even going to open the doors there. You can have a look at the menu, but when it's like €18.80 for a starter, I don't think that's for me. Munkastova. These places do look awfully quiet just now, but it's only 4:25, so I think we're in between meal services at the moment. But like I say, I wouldn't be going in there anyway. There's only one more place along here, and it's called the teen room. There's lots of teenagers on this ferry, so I'm not going to go in there just now, but it's basically a really cool room with loads of PlayStations and big screens. I think they'll be in there all night. And now we'll go down to deck 5, which is like the main deck on the ship. That's where you'll find the reception and the shop and stuff like that. So over here we've got nice free magazines about the Faroe Islands and Iceland. And just a bit further on we've got some more screens. But this one is interesting because it shows you the location of the ship. So as you can see, we've just left the Faroe Islands and we're heading up towards Iceland. And up in the corner we've got some information. So we're doing 13.7 knots currently, which is slightly faster than 13.7 miles per hour, I believe. Gives your exact location and our estimated time of arrival tomorrow morning, 9 AM. And these doors over here, we can't use these to get into the duty-free shop, but it'll give you a look at it. And it's massive. We should go around and have a look, shouldn't we? But first, this is the cafeteria where I had my lunch this afternoon. Another lovely big space. And you can also just order burgers and pizzas here if you want. And there's some of the stuff, look at that. Very nice, isn't it? Colourful. And it's a wee bit quieter than when I was here earlier. This is a good time to do the tour. We're right at the stern of the ship here. We've got a few books, but there is a bigger library. I'll show you that in a minute. Nice view. Hey, those are quite big waves, aren't they? And that'll be the North Atlantic Ocean, eh? Kiddies area over here, which I'm not going to film for obvious reasons. And this is one of my favourite places on board, which is called... Yeah, you can read that yourself. Because we've got the big library in here. I think this is a great idea for on board ships. Books in all different languages. Beyond the library we've got another bar, and this is where they do all the different functions and pub quizzes and bingo and live music. That's all done in here, but I don't think we can go in just now. And next we've got the cinema, which is €11.40 to get in, and they've got loads of different movies playing throughout the day, and then reception just to the right hand side. And that's the gangway when you're in the Faroe Islands. And the ship's time is Faroe Islands time. That's caught me out a few times. We've got the shop in there to the right. And I like these little booths as well. Cool, eh? Oh, it's awfully wet out there, isn't it? Not nice at all. Let's go and have a look in the shop. Now, I'm never a fan of duty-free shops, but I must say this one's an exception. They've got everything in here, and it's really good prices as well. Well, when I say good prices, they've also got the really fancy 66 degrees north stuff from Iceland. So this fleece jacket, €241. It's like a department store though. And every Haribo you could dream about, eh? And there's always Toblerones, isn't there? Fruit and nut. Never even seen that one before. These are good because you can buy the whole pack, or you can just take an individual one for your room. I'd love to take one of these home, but I'm travelling with Ryanair minimum luggage, haven't I? Oh, and just so you know, you can get all the essentials here as well. And that is the awfully impressive duty-free shop. Now, is that us done deck 5? I think it is, you know. Aye, so cabins, we've seen reception, the shop. Have we seen this one? Yeah, that's the one I like, isn't it? That's the buffet, where I had my lunch. We've seen the cinema, playroom, and that's it. Decks 4 and 3 are just for vehicles, so we are going right down to the bottom of the ship now. And when you do that, it feels like you're kind of going into a crew area, which I guess it is a crew area, but we've got fitness and swimming pool. And of course, if you don't fancy all these stairs, there's also elevators. You can start to smell the chlorine from the swimming pool now. But this staircase really feels like you shouldn't be here, doesn't it? And you've got blue shoe covers if you've got dirty trainers on like me. So this little corridor here takes you through the swimming pool and the gym. Now I'm not going to go in there just now because it is quite busy, but I'll put some clips in of when I was there earlier. One of the interesting things about this part of the ship is we are below sea level, so you can go for a swim below the level of the sea. That's quite cool, isn't it? Now the other thing we've got down here are the couchettes, so they're like the dormitories. So you'll have a room there with 6 bunks in it. Sharing with 5 strangers? I don't think so. And my advice when you're on a ferry, always take the stairs because you don't get enough exercise when you're on these for like 3 days. But I tell you what, it's absolutely roasting down here. It doesn't help that I've still got my jacket on. And you know what? I think that's us covered all 10 decks from 10 to 1 on the MS. Sorry, how do you say the name of this ship?
Norröna.
Norröna. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. So all we've got to do now is go and have a look at a cabin. My cabin. I'm in 6116 and I've got a Bros Mubin deal. Could have been worse. Please excuse the mess, this will be my 3rd night tonight, but this is just like a standard outside cabin meaning you've got a window. So because it's just me, I've just got the 1 bunk made up. You do have another bunk on the other side, but you can only put that down with a key. I think if you put that down, it'd be quite narrow here to be honest. But I think it's still quite a big cabin, certainly bigger than the Northlink. And you've got a nice big TV here as well, which works. And you've got your bathroom, and that fella again. And in the bathroom, you just got your standard shower, toilet, sink. What more do you need? Right, what else have we got? We've got a nice little desk, and in here we've got the fridge. Now you can buy a minibar package in advance, or you can buy it at reception. And as you can see, I've been making my way through mine. It's all looking quite sad now. But it's a good idea to do that. Not only is it good value, but if you don't buy the minibar package, I believe they lock the fridge. So that's a good thing to bear in mind if you're thinking to bring your own supplies on board. And we've got some wardrobes here. Nothing special, but they do the job. And the other one, exactly the same. I am starting to feel like Nick from Aquaholic, you know. And that's your safety stuff on the back of the door. Oh, and finally, if you want to adjust the temperature, you've got that on the ceiling, warm and cold, but it's not very strong, I've noticed. So, like I do, always bring a fan. But the piece de resistance of this cabin, like I say, I'm in cabin number 6116, is my window, and look at the view. It's over the bow of the ship. Now I would say that most standard cabins, even if they've got a window, have got a view over the side of the ship. But to get a standard cabin with a view over the bow has been priceless for me because you get to see what's coming, don't you? So there we go, that was my tour of the Smyril line ferry that runs from Denmark to Iceland, and you know what, I totally recommend it. Now if you haven't seen my other video of the full ferry journey, check it out, it's on the channel. And all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.